has an amazing collection of these photographs, and I know I've captured several on video, but it seems like some people have more of a proclivity to experience this than others.
Depends on your energy field and the rate of vibration that your body produces.
Oh, interesting. We've also captured black discs. One thing that I've kind of figured out on my own, I mean, it's just tough to like sometimes handle this information because it's not science fiction, and there are holes in cloud decks. I've photographed a hole in a cloud deck, and then I've seen satellite images. It was like over Texas, and there were all these holes in the cloud deck, and we were like going, okay, well that's probably HARP, and they're probably pulsing the atmosphere. With this eyewitness account in Chicago of that sighting at the Chicago airport last year.
Kate 17.
Yeah, Kate 17. The eyewitness account said that when it ascended and left, it punched a hole through the clouds.
Yeah.
So there's an opposite charge coming through, and it's like breaking the bond. I think these holes are actually craft coming and going.
Well, they're actually vortices that are opening up. They've also been photographed in the Bermuda Triangle, where you get these holes in the atmosphere and cloud decks. And quite honestly, if you were to pass through or enter through that opening, you would be in another dimension or reality. And when these vehicles travel, what they do is they create a vortex into another reality, or what we call hyperspace, that then allows them to be transported in an instant. And this is why they blink out of reality so quickly.
That's amazing. So if you were like just flying in a Cessna, you were near a hole like that, that's where the Bermuda Triangle thing...
Yeah, and that's been reported. Some people have actually passed through them in aircraft, and then reported that the Earth was different. One reported seeing an ocean that looked like it was made out of copper. The sun was in a different location and looked different, and suddenly they passed through another opening, and then they were back on Earth. So yes, these are portals, dimensional openings, vortices, whatever you want to call them, and they basically are a doorway between one reality and another reality.
That is incredible. Since we're on this topic, I was watching scenes. I'm rewatching the TV series V.
Yeah.
For Skywatchers, it's about an alien race that is taking over Earth, and it's human, reptilian-looking people that are have like a fake human shell over them. They showed like behind the moon all these like motherships, sort of like maybe a half dozen, hiding behind the moon.
Yeah.
And you kind of pointed out in your book that the moon was towed into place a long time ago, and astronomers say it's the only thing in space that doesn't spin on its axis.
Right. Plus, they say the material of the moon proves that it's not from here.
Oh, it's not from Earth.
No, and in fact, it's older than the Earth. The material on the moon is older than the Earth itself, so it couldn't possibly have come from the same material.
I also wondered why they haven't pointed the Hubble telescope at the dark side of the moon.
Because then they'd have a lot of explaining to do.
or the side that we could see and find. Let's see the flag that was planted, right? They could probably see a grain of sand on the moon with that Hubble telescope.
Well, the thing is, the Earth is both the Earth and the moon are hollow. The moon is an artificially created object which pings instead of thumps. When you send a sonic resonance off the surface of the moon, it makes a pinging sound like glass or hollow material would make. They're also now admitting that the moon may have an atmosphere and may have water. So all this information is just now being trickling down to population. When I was working in Switzerland years ago, there was a Swiss science magazine which stated that the moon needed to be reclassified because it was hollow and may not even be from our solar system originally. So that was way back then. You know, American listeners need to know that the information and news that they receive is very different than what people hear in other countries. So the news is totally biased for American consumption.
Absolutely.
In North America.
I guess we got the best news that corporation money could buy.
That manipulation can buy, yes. Now, and that's not to say that foreign news isn't manipulated. It is. The difference is in other countries is that most other countries are so used to being controlled and manipulated in all of their history that that's just normal to them.
And people in this country aren't used to that, or
well, in this country, there's the illusion that we're free and that there's freedom of speech, and the news is, the truth. That you would elect your officials. That's the illusion that people operate by in this country, when in fact it's quite the opposite. We're told how wonderful it is that we live in a free country and we can do whatever we want, when in fact we're one of the most controlled and manipulated places on the planet.
How many species are interacting, or alien species that are interacting, and how does the Illuminati fit into all of that?
In the 1976 or 7, the U.S. Air Force was issued a manual. Those who scramble, to the ones that scramble for anomalous objects over North America, they were issued a manual describing 70 different species visiting the planet, all of which considered to be hostile and should be fired upon sight.
Is that what's going on when they see like Air Force jets chasing something, or?
Yes, but I must clarify that because, well, first of all, let me finish by saying that in the mid-90s, that number was up to 117 different species. But I must tell you that very often now, these days, most of what is seen in the sky really is from here. There is, for all intents and purposes, an embargo against other species coming here. There's only 4 or 5 different races that are now given permission to visit this planet. The rest are not allowed, and that's what we're seeing banding up in the Kuiper's Belt beyond Pluto at the moment. And the U.S., or I should really say the global government, the New World Order, has an agenda to usurp the empire or imperialism of the reptilian Draco Empire and create their own with Earth as its basis. And then once that's consolidated, they will then go out into space and create their own invasion agenda against others.
Is that the Syrians?
Well, the Syrians are one of the groups that are allowed here. There are also some of reptilian races. There are many reptilian races out there, it's not just one. And basically, human beings, and I write about this in Blue Blood, we are hybrids. We have reptilian genetics. This is the only place where human and reptilian genetics have been blended to create a new race. And so, because of that, the Illuminati feel that they are more superior to the original Draco, and that therefore should take over from them.
Now, Stewart, you mentioned in your book that you've seen reptilian humanoids, and like face to face.
Oh yeah, shapeshifters, if that's what you mean.
Yes. Oh, okay. Right. They've shifted into like the other half of their DNA.
Correct.
And how long does it take? And does it make noise? What happens?
It's instantaneous.
Oh, it is?
Instantaneous. I mean, what I witnessed happened in a split second.
Holy cow. And how did you remain calm? Because